Jesus Christ.
Kind of fucking dum-dum.
Bruh. It's one button. I gotta push one button. I can't handle it.
And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Buckets of Duckets. My name is your co-host, Josh Watts, and that's your other co-host,
Chase Myers. What's up, everybody? How you doing?
You hated that. I can see it on your face how quickly.
Well, I was trying to. Nah, dude. I was gonna be flexible. I was gonna, I've only been the person that has welcomed everybody to every episode we've done for 7-8 years and 2 different versions of it.
Which is like 12 episodes.
It's it's kind of my thing. People expect my voice first, but I was ready to be flexible. I was ready to see what happened, and I thought you were going to introduce me. I didn't know I had to jump in.
It started us off weird. It was let's take it again from the top.
They see it all over my face. They see it all over my face.
You do it. You do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Buckets of Duckets. This is the 3rd episode. I am your host, Chase Myers, with my co-host, the one Josh Watts.
Hi, how you doing, ladies and gentlemen? This is episode 3, which is 2 more than the first one that we did.
Dude, you can't argue with that. You cannot argue with that. Josh likes to start off every podcast with the truth.
Dude, in the comments of the YouTube videos, I go and check. I read every comment. I respond to every single person. It's like, hey, you're an idiot. Why are you fat? All of it. I answer. I'm like, well, it's a blood sugar thing, and I just because I want everyone on YouTube to know that I value their opinions. So the consensus is they like when I open up with my math bits, when I do my little math yucks. So
I like your little math routine.
You know. It works better in the podcast than it does on stage.
Dude, I disagree. You got to go up there with some confidence, man. You know, no joke is going to work if you half-ass it. You got to sell it. This is 2 more than 1. 3. Watch what happens.
I'm your 4th comedian, which is 3 more than 1. How about that? You like that? What do you do for a living?
I mean, don't open with it. It's going to be a little too much to follow.
Nah, dude, that's what I start with.
Dude,
it's too much.
It's starting off too high, dude. It's putting too much pressure on you to maintain the level of excitement that you're going to cause opening that way. I'm starting to get excited about stand-up again, man. I think in the last episode I was all pouty about not getting to perform. But
oh yeah, dude, you were being such a little whiny girl about it. It was depressing me, honestly, to see how sad you were. It made my heart hurt for you, bro.
Well, I'm glad that you care about me. I'm glad that you care, and it's funny that you never reached out or said anything till now. But I appreciate that that's what you were thinking, because I know that's what you were thinking. We don't talk except for the show. The show is the only time we talk. This is the friendship. Yeah. Josh texted me the other day, and I said, how fucking dare you? That was my immediate text. This is my personal line. Did you have to click a link to talk to me? Then don't talk to me.
If I didn't send you a link, I don't want to talk.
I don't want to talk, dude. It's appointment viewing to see me, okay?
I got to book these way in advance. The last episode we did, it was raining outside.
Yeah.
While we did it, it stormed and it messed up some of our audio with the internet.
Dude.
No, go ahead.
No, I was about to say, we tried to be sly about the last episode and put it out there. We maybe should have let people know more of what went on. Like, my laptop just turned off. Brand new laptop, by the way. Perfect laptop. Beautiful. I'm doing my Trump right now. Beautiful laptop.
Beautiful.
It's a huge laptop, okay? And it just
people
went
say
off.
It's the best.
It's the best, and it went off like minutes into the podcast. We start going. We got lag issues. It's constantly trying. Like, Louisiana is always about to be drowned out, and so Josh's power went out. Like, once we finally got rolling, because as you guys heard, we got rolling. And, yeah, man. But we took all that shit out and just put out a perfect episode like we always do. All 3 times.
Like the goddamn champions that we are. So my power goes out anytime. Like, if the wind blows, our power goes out for whatever. And after like the rain and stuff, it flooded in my neighborhood. We have around my neighborhood. There's like 3 or 4 creeks, retention ponds, whatever you want to call them.
Okay.
And so I take my dog out there, and Lou goes swimming out there and plays around. But they flood in the neighborhood floods. So when it rains real bad, they fill up and they overflow into the roads, and it becomes awesome because there's just water everywhere. And so everybody was out playing in the rain and the water and splashing and enjoying themselves. And a guy, I'm sure we've talked about on this podcast that my mortal enemy in life is HOAs, homeowners associations.
Yes.
Bruh. I hope you're watching right now. Every one of you sons of bitches. I hope all the homeowners associations
all
are
of
watching.
them. Huddle them all up.
All of them. You fucks. So our homeowners association has a Facebook group,
right?
And I'm in it just to get mad every day at the stupid shit people post in there about mailboxes being the same color or whatever. But
y'all have a uniform color for the mailboxes?
Oh no, but somebody complained because we didn't.
Man, yeah, y'all need to step it up. One neighborhood, one color.
Dude,
I don't want that taken out of context ever. That's
going to be the soundbite for this episode. Is that right there?
That's the worst soundbite I've ever heard. I immediately had panic just rush through my body once it came out. I will never be able to explain that context.
The HOA you can't even change your windows in this neighborhood without getting it approved by the HOA, and I hate them.
Come stop me.
Fuck alone. I hate them. They sent me a letter one time about our garden needing to be trimmed. And, we had a newborn, or at the time, I think Zoe was real little, and it was just me at home because Michelle was working. Mm-hmm. So I was supposed to handle this, and they sent this fucking letter saying that our garden was overgrown. And then, because I'm a reasonable, mature, not petty human being, I took a pickaxe and a shovel, and I dug our entire garden up and threw it into the street, down at the curb where the trash goes out. The whole thing. And it might have been a bit of overreaction.
Nah.
But it felt right. I'm going to be honest with you. It felt right.
No half measures.
So, the guy that runs our HOA, he's not even the guy who runs the HOA. He's the guy who runs the neighborhood Facebook group.
Okay.
And
which is one of the more powerful positions you can have, is the admin of a Facebook group.
Well, he thought it was... he posted the day everybody's out swimming because it's quarantine and the streets are flooded and the ponds have overflowed, so everybody's out playing in the water because there's nothing else to do except hide inside from the liberal propaganda of coronavirus.
I'm so tired of my freedoms being taken away, bro.
Anyway, we don't even need to get into the lie that is the 5G caused coronavirus. But the guy who runs the Facebook group made a post in the group, and I'm going to read it to you.
Please.
Because I don't think anything's made me want to fight somebody more. If you don't need to be out and walking your dog in the water, and he put water in quotation marks.
Is it not?
Yeah, it's water as far as I know. And he wrote, stay home, people. People that were able to make it to work still need to come home. Walking your dog through the flooded streets and bridge area is not a priority to anyone. Don't get pissed, P-I-S-T. Don't get pissed off if you get splashed by water while you walk your dog in the water in the middle of the main road to the subdivision. Just saying. And keep your kids home because bike riding in flooded waters is not safe practice. All this post meant to me was that he flew through the water and splashed somebody and they flipped him off, and so he posted this. But I can't walk my dog now, and it made me... I never say anything in this group.
I find that hard to believe.
I'm always mad about everything. Oh, dude, I don't ever say anything. I screenshot everything and send it to Michelle, and I'm like, look at these fucking dorks. Can you believe this? And I just ran about it, but I never comment, because I don't want anybody to know that I live here. I don't want to have... If I'm walking the kids, I don't want somebody... Hey, didn't you call me a punk bitch on Facebook last week? and then me have to be like, yeah, and then beat them up in front of my kids and probably their family.
That is a different element to it, because normally, you're safe behind the keyboard. You can just talk all that shit, but you are all in the same neighborhood. Like, you are.
Yeah.
You might see somebody after you call them something.
And look, I'm not worried for my safety.
Of course not.
At all. It's not me. I'm
looking out for the people.
I'm worried about. I don't want to take somebody's father away from them with a roundhouse kick. But so everybody in the group was like, you could tell it was all smart ass remarks about like, well, maybe you shouldn't drive through the water that fast, and I asked the guy if there was a time frame when we'd be able to walk our dogs again, and I said asking for my dog. And that's the only comment I've ever made in the group. And after I posted it, he deleted his post in the neighborhood.
Oh, the whole post got taken down. I thought you were about to say deleted your comment. He got embarrassed about the whole thing.
The whole thing, because everybody was shitting on him.
Yeah.
And then I felt so good about it because I was like, my one comment took this evil monster down, and he deleted his post that had 3 likes. And I felt like, because I'm a stay-at-home dad without a job or no comedy scene to mention of right now, so this is my victory. This is what I do now. This is how I just
you do it well.
So I felt all proud about it. And the other, I saw him today. I went to walk the dog in the creek back there in the water, and I saw his fat ass jogging by down the street today, and he nodded at me.
You should have splashed him with water.
I went out of my way to make sure he knew I wasn't nodding. Like, if there was the opposite of like,
how do you do that? I'm not acknowledging you.
When he nodded at me, I did this.
Just poke your chest out.
I'm in the neighborhood group because every once in a while people are like, "Hey, I'm trying to get rid of this log cabin. It's out by this little this kid's a kid's log cabin is what I meant.
Okay.
Like a little kid's play set.
Hey, I got this whole house that I'm trying to get rid of. Anybody want it? Or?
This rocking horse is out by our mailbox, free to anybody that wants it. So, and I've gotten a lot of really cool shit for the kids like that because people's kids outgrow it. And like 2 weeks ago, there was a log cabin, like a little like Fisher Price kids log cabin for the backyard, and it was posted in the group for free. And I missed it by like one person commented before me and got it, and I realized that it was that guy who runs the Facebook group that made that post about running the dogs. And if I'd have gone to the house to pick that free log cabin up for my children, and I'd realized it was that dude, I would have kicked it over and gotten back in the car and left. I've hated that dude since we moved in this neighborhood. I'm telling you this like he's listening to this and like he's watching this.
I'm gonna send it to him. I'm sending it to him.
I hope you're listening, you fuck. When you lay your head down tonight, I hope you dream about what I'm gonna do to you when I get my hands on you, and I hope it makes your forehead break out in a cold sweat and hot pee run down your leg when you're sleeping next to your dork ass wife. I'm coming for you, and there's nothing you can do. Move on. Let's move on from the HOA now. I'm done.
I mean, that is how you end the segment, sir. That is for sure.
That's good because I didn't have anywhere else to go with it.
I do kind of want to post. I'm gonna cut that clip out and I'm gonna post it in that group. I'm gonna join that homeowners association group. I'm gonna be like, I don't live there. I just want you to know who you're letting in your neighborhood. Okay,
people. It's the weirdest, dude. People have the. I mean, they have so much free time to worry about other people. It's unbelievable. I hate every one of them.
Makes sense, dude. I'm going to get weed. Right, I'm buying weed at a legal shop to buy weed at, and
unbelievable.
I'm a regular. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
There's a like a sign in where I put my phone number in, and every 10th trip I get 20% off, and I just wanted you to know these little details, Josh. I just want you.
That's hilarious.
I want you to know that this is a true thing.
Now that you have the option of not free, but legal and all of the, have you tried like everything? And do you like anything more than just regular?
Like just all the like just different strands and stuff? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like soda with THC or
Yep, I've done all of those. I've had a sucker. I've had gummies. Had some little chocolates. I I'm taking you down with me on this one. Me and you shoved shit up our ass.
I still have the box. Our friend Travis brought us suppositories for some reason.
Yeah,
just like good friends.
I came down to Louisiana to do some shows, and that was what our buddy greeted us with. And man, we couldn't wait. We did not hesitate one bit. We were like, well, I guess
we were doing a show. We waited. We took turns in the bathroom at a show we were doing.
I did a show. We all went on stage with sloppy marijuana in our ass. Like, we all did.
And it made me so much funnier.
People were coming up to me like, man, what is in your ass, bruh? That is, you were on fire tonight, dude. What'd you put up there? Like, people could feel it. They could feel something. I had a different power coming. Normally it's like from my chest, you know what I'm saying? This time it was straight from my butt. Just straight. Just butt
And see, you
power.
went back to Seattle. After that, I did another show in the same town, and they afterwards, like everybody in the crowd, it was sold out because of the previous show, and everybody came up to me afterwards and was like, you didn't have anything in your ass this time, did you? And I was like, no. And they're like, we could tell. And I was like, yeah. They're like, we just didn't feel the same power.
It's true, dude. That's the scary part about doing drugs and going on stage is like, if it goes well, then you're like, oh shit, now I got to do these drugs again before I go. Like, what was the combination that made me magic that night? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if there's even a time, like, not to be like, I smoke so much fucking weed, bro, but dude, I smoke so much fucking weed, bro. Like, I don't know when, like, if I could stop, like, if I had to, like, actually be like, dude, we need you to pass a drug test, like, you might need to give me 6 months, like, for me to get a decade plus of smoking every day, dude. I'm one of the coolest people in the world, bro. I'm as top as it gets, dude.
I remember before you moved, you were going to get a job at.
Best Buy. I failed the drug test to work at Best Buy, which fuck you, Best Buy, not letting me do drugs and work at your job. Like, are you kidding me? Who do you think is going to work there? Who do you think is going to work on your computers with stoners? Okay?
Exactly.
Insane. But no, I failed that one after taking, that was probably the last time that I stopped smoking, like, for a purpose like that. And I didn't smoke for, like...
It was the worst time. I remember it.
Yeah, we were neighbors at the time. We were living across from each other. I was still in Baton Rouge. And, dude, yeah, just not smoking, just being angry, just being irritable, angry all the time, and just keep telling myself, it's okay. Because at the end of this, you're going to get paid $9.45 to work at Best Buy. That's what it's going to be okay. It's going to be worth this 33 days that you're not going to smoke weed. And that's what I did. I didn't smoke weed.
The light at the end of the
days.
tunnel.
I pissed in the cup. Immediately, guess where my first stop was? I'm buying weed. That is the next place I'm going. I'm calling my drug dealer on the way to the, hey, bro, I'm about to take this piss test. I'm buying all your weed. Whatever you got, have it ready for me. All of it up to $60. Whatever you got up to $60, bro, I'm coming. And yeah, and I go, I get it. I'm like 2 days later, I'm in my bathroom. Because that's where I used to have to smoke. I couldn't smoke outside because I'd get arrested because it's illegal there, and then I couldn't smoke in my
which
living
is why
room.
I don't.
Right.
Which is why I don't.
Yeah, and so I'm sitting in my bathroom and I get a call and I'm like, oh, this must be Best Buy, and they're like, hey, I'm what, the lab or wherever my piss got sent. They're like, yo, we got your piss.
The cops.
we got your piss. We're on to you. All right, we got your piss. They're like,
you should be ashamed of yourself.
You should really. Are you sitting in your bathroom right now? Are you huddled up in your bathroom smoking?
You're high right now, aren't you?
No, and so but for real, I am smoking. I'm smoking in the bathroom, and they asked me. They're like, you failed your drug test. They're like, is this an accident? And I'm like, yeah, gotta be an accident. And they're like,
I had a bagel.
They're like, well, could you do a retest? Do you want to do a retest? And I was like, nah. No, I'm high as we speak. I'm not coming retest. You out of your mind? And I've never been. I don't understand how people do the sneak pee. Like, I'm a piss in this condom and duct tape it to my leg, and that's how I'm gonna get. You ever cheated on a drug test? You ever taken a drug test?
Oh, buddy. In 2000, right before I joined the Air Force, I wasn't doing anything, and my dad. I was 18, living at home. And my parents wanted me to get a job, so I started putting in applications like just anywhere, and nobody called me. Mm-hmm. And at that time, I also had a friend who had ADD, and he started taking. I think at the time it was like Dexatrin. It was like the brand new Adderall medicine, but it was in like 2000 or 99.
A new Adderall,
and it was like still kind of a new thing, and he didn't like it. And I just took them all the time because it gave me tons of energy, and I had no idea that it would make me fail a drug test.
I didn't know that either.
And it shows up as speed, like it's just meth. It's just meth. And so I went to the gas station by my house and put in an application. They were like, "Hey, if you go take a drug test right now, we're hiring." So this little gas station in the middle of nowhere, Louisiana, sent me straight over to a lab, and I didn't know that it was a prescription drug, but I didn't know that it would show up in the blood in the test until I peed in the cup and I could smell.
Oh, like that's gonna fail. That's gonna fail.
I was like, "Yep, I'm not. That's it." So, with no other options, I joined the Air Force, and they drug test you there a lot. But when they do it, there's no way to cheat in the military because they're not behind you watching you. They're
holding your dick.
Like, yeah, they shake it for you. They put the cup on the end of their nose and stand underneath you so that they know ain't no bullshit going on. Or at least that's how they did it to me. I don't know if that's legit or not. But he was like, "Nah, just pee on my face. I got the cup. Aim high. Aim high.
Hit this strip on my forehead right here."
Chase, I said aim high. That's the Air Force's motto, aim high, Air Force.
Oh, see, that joke was way...
And if you knew that...
I'm sorry, buddy. That joke...
Hey, anybody out there that used to be in the Air Force, huh? I fucking nailed it, didn't I? All right.
What y'all's little... I didn't mean to say little, but like, what's the Air Force, like, chant? Do y'all have a chant? Like the hoo-ha thing or whatever? I'm not trying to sound dismissive. I'm just curious if you do.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, you don't know?
I remember it depends on what job you do. The security. I was a cop in the Air Force.
Mm-hmm, I know it.
I was corrupt as fuck. I dug the hole Saddam hid in. I dug it. I dug that hole for him. Said, "You give me $45 and a shovel, I'll go dig a hole for you. They won't ever find you unless they look real hard. And then, it's a hole in the ground, so they're gonna find you eventually." I got $45 American.
Well,
no, but the police
dirty money spins
say
too,
hoo-ah. They would say hoo-ah, and depending on who.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know if you had the right octave for it. I was. I like that they do that. It's fucking badass. It's I've done it.
Whenever you're like part of the hive mind and everybody else around you is doing it, you get real turned up.
Dude. I've done shows for military, and they wanted to assert their dominance. They wanted to.
It's the same thing.
No, I mean like they've done it at me, like while I'm on stage, like they've done their fucking hoo-ha whatever chants at me, and yeah, it's scary.
That's approval. That means they approve of you.
Good.
Unless they said it like if they went hoo-ah, that means you're dead.
Then you fucked. That's over. Dude, have a cry. I did the show in Little Rock, Arkansas, back in the old world when stand-up comedy
in the before time.
In the before times, since that's good. I gotta use before times. I've been telling people in my old life I was a comedian. That's what I've been going with.
In your old life,
yeah. The before times though, that's fucking clutch. I like that.
Little Rock.
Yeah, so I'm in Little Rock, and I'm opening for this headliner I don't respect, and he's. Let me take a quick little aside.
Yeah,
there's a podcast that a friend of mine, Monica Nevi, and Mike Coletta do out here in Seattle, and they have a Patreon, and on their Patreon,
they're in Seattle. We did a show with them in Baton Rouge.
You know,
years and years ago.
Yeah, so they're based out here, and in their Patreon, they use names of whoever they're talking shit about. So if like they referenced, so like just now, if they would have told that story, if you pay whatever your $1 a month, then they'd be like, that was this motherfucker, and then they would go into how much. I thought that was a brilliant idea. That was amazing.
Yeah, that's great.
And so yeah, so this guy, he's bombing. He doesn't have an act. He's just doing improv stuff. He's literally like. If somebody laughs like weird, he's stopping his joke and going like, "Whose laugh was that? That's weird." And like killing all momentum, like just to comment on any little noise that happens in the room. It's Saturday in Little Rock. It's during college football season, and all these Arkansas Razorback fans just get all fucking fired up and drunk and are yelling stuff at them. And they start doing their fucking. They got like this, like I think it's like pig suey or some chant that they fucking do. It's like some kind of pig chant. They do a pig chant in Arkansas. If you had to guess where they do pig chants, Arkansas is your top 3, right? Like it's definitely
easily, yeah, definitely. It's definitely the top 3.
Yeah.
Pig noise, Arkansas, Georgia. No, Arkansas. I'm gonna go with Arkansas.
Yeah, it was right. It fits. Yeah, but they did it at this man. They did like it's like. It's like, I'm an LSU Tigers fan. It's like if we randomly just started chanting out like LSU at them and shit. Like that's what they did. It was crazy.
Like, is it like the Roll Tide? Like you just yell Roll Tide at somebody?
Yeah, but it's long though. It's like a whoa, fucking like that type thing. And everybody like does like a wave motion, like when you're doing the wave, like in the stadium. Like they're all kind of up at one time and then point at them and stuff. And yeah.
Let's stand up and call those HOAs!
Like a bunch of fucking sheeple, huh? Just following along. Brainwashed hillbillies. Jesus Christ.
But honestly, it was the best thing to happen to this hack because it gave him something to talk about. You could go with it from there.
Did his tie have piano keys on it?
No, but it would have been better. I had one suggestion for him after when he came off stage. I was like, do you have a piano key tie? Is that possible? For you to do that, I think that's the way.
No, do you have entirely other jokes,
anything
like a
else.
whole other
anything else.
persona?
Yeah, I don't feel bad. I've since been back to that club, and it's got new management, and I was telling them that story, and he didn't even know who the fuck I was talking about. So like, I think it's done. I think he got his one shot. I got all angry because I was opening for him, but it was fine. Dude, I have such an ego with stuff like that. I know I'm not truly like a global, like international, like headline, like truly, you know what I'm saying? But you can't convince me that I'm not like. It's a hard sell to tell me I shouldn't be closing the show. Buckets of Duckets, people. People don't know what buckets of Duckets mean. Are you realizing that?
No.
I've had a couple people where I tell them the name of the show and I can see on their face somebody told me, she was like, "Oh, that's cute. It's like a southern thing." That's what she asked me, if it was like a southern thing. And I had to be like, "Nah, a ducat is a coin, and a bucket is what I want to put all my money in." That's
It makes total sense to me.
Nah, dude.
It came from an episode of our old show where we sang a song. We sang a musical episode of our last podcast.
Dude, I'm gonna try to find my old laptop has our old show, which used to be called Chase and Josh Talk. It's fun. We keep referencing it. I'm gonna have to find those old episodes, and if I can, I'm gonna put out the episode that we stumble on buckets of ducats as like a bonus or something. Like I'll put that out there because that was the show just has a name change. That's all that happened over these years.
Yeah,
is we just kind of quit doing it for a while. Now it's got video and it's named, but it's always just been two best friends just talking shit and telling stories. Like that's always been what it is. But for some reason, years ago we decided, I do know the reason. Do we want to break it? We'll fucking go into all this.
Dude, go into it.
Yeah, we might as well. We got time. I mean, in Louisiana, there's a comedian named Matt Brown.
Dookie Hypotenuse.
I forgot that was his great nickname.
Yeah.
And Matt Brown used to pester the shit out of us about coming on the podcast. Matt Brown is great. He's podcast gold. All right, we already had him on. He wanted to basically be a regular. That's what he just wanted to be on all the time. Me and Josh weren't very like good about doing the show on like a routine. Like it was hard for us to even do that anyway. For us to like come over and be on the show all the time, right? It worked out most of the time just because me and Josh were neighbors, and when we finally could fucking do it, I'd just run over and that'd be it. So one day he's over at Josh's house and bugs the shit out of him about being on the podcast, but I'm not there. And so Matt Brown has the idea of, hey, why don't we watch a Disney movie? Right? Stop me if I'm... Yeah, he asked Josh.
He wanted to watch Frozen and do commentary to Frozen, which was new at the time. And I don't know, dude, we got 5 minutes into it and I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, he decided he wanted to do a whole different podcast like on our show. Like, yeah, this is going to be Chase and Josh talk, but this is the episode where Josh and Matt Brown watch Frozen and commentate over it. That's what he wanted to do. And
to be clear, though, the whole time we were recording it, he had a gun directly pointed at me. I was not... It wasn't like I just wanted to betray my best friend. I had a gun pointed right at my very handsome, muscular face. And I
know that's true.
I don't want to I don't want to destroy art.
I know you wouldn't lie to me, best friend.
No, not ever.
So anyway, so they do that. Josh realizes this is not good halfway through and he quits. But now we just have this funny like 15 minutes we haven't recorded of Josh and Matt doing this random podcast that didn't work out. So we decided, we're like, well, we should use it. This is funny. And so I called over another comedian from Louisiana, Mike Honore, who we mentioned on the last episode, get his album.
Peanut Butter Thunder?
Yeah. What's the album called? Splendid Delight?
Splendid Afternoon.
Splendid Afternoon. That's right. I'm sorry, Mike. Splendid Afternoon. Make sure you go get that. That's 2 shout-outs on this podcast, buddy. We're looking out for you. And
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
So I invite him over, and I say, hey, let's do a Chase and Mike podcast, and we'll watch a playoff basketball game and commentate over it, right? And so we both do these 2
at
versions.
my house.
At your house. We came to your house to do this because I was so fucking mad at you. I was like, we're gonna fix this shit. Fix this shit you did.
He made me watch. Yeah. I had to hold the recorder while they did it.
And
just being a cuck. Just standing right there like a cuck.
And so now we have these 2 like 15-minute segments of 2 different podcasts going on. So we decide, fuck it, we're gonna totally write this podcast episode out. And we started off with like a big argument, me and Josh getting a big argument and talk about how fuck each other, like fuck you, and I'm gonna go do another show. And then we put in each show, and then at the end, of course, we realize that there's no.
We're better together.
We're better together. There's no better co-host. For the Chase.
One of my favorite things of that, I had just gotten my like half sleeve done, and you called me a half sleeved piece of shit.
Oh, it was fresh. It's fresh on my mind. It was right there. But yeah, but in that we fuck it. It's goofy. We sing songs, all kind of shit.
I sang a song. I sang and played a song on guitar about how much I missed you and wanted you back, and I sang that we could earn buckets of ducats.
And we never stopped saying buckets, duckets ever since. Yeah, nothing was funnier than me than that moment when we were sitting upstairs at your house. You're playing a guitar, and dude, I could fucking remember this moment so much. I don't know if I've ever laughed so hard. You like strummed buckets, strummed again, buckets of Duckets, like belted it, like dude sounded like Pearl Jam. It was crazy, and dude, I couldn't hold it together. I ruined the whole take because I just couldn't hold it together. I was dying so fucking hard. And
that was good.
No, that was good shit, man. Yeah, if I can find that episode, if it's out there, I'll put it out at some point as a bonus or something. If not, we just told you the episode.
Some things still haven't changed. I used to listen to Chase and Josh talk, and I would react to what you said a split second before the recording of me said the exact same thing. And I do it watching this show on YouTube.
Yeah, your memory
is terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I don't know what could cause that.
Being a hero. I took 6 bullets in the head from Al Qaeda.
Well, thank you for that.
That's why I have a mohawk, because this is all scar tissue.
It's all Al Qaeda bullet right here.
Al Qaeda bullet.
That's
pretty good.
I took an Alk right here, side of the head.
My son has developed a new moose. He is 19 or 20 months old. He's somewhere in there, and he comes in to wherever I am now, and he points at his diaper, and then he puts his hand on his play table, and then he just looks me right in the face while he shits.
Okay.
Like he wants me to know.
Okay. Hey.
He comes in, he points at his diaper, and he puts his hand down, and he goes,
yo.
And it's intense.
Yeah, I can imagine. I like that move because it's like him going like, I'm going to shit in my pants, but I'm not going to walk around in it. You going to clean it the second I'm done. I'm not walking around in a shitty diaper.
And it's funny because I can't tell. Dude will dance to, if like a music plays for half a second in between a commercial, like he just starts dancing instantly.
Yeah,
and one of his dance moves is he puts his hands on stuff and then he just starts twerking. And so sometimes I don't know, like he puts both hands on the table. I'm like, oh, is this a twerk or a shit? And sometimes it starts off as one and ends up the other. You never know where you never know where it's gonna go.
Oh, false alarm! False alarm! He's just twerking.
But he only does it. He only does that to me. Like my wife has never seen him. He doesn't walk in and point at his diaper then at her.
He respects his mother. That's.
He respects his mother.
You don't do that to your mom.
Dude, he walks in, he looks right at me, and he goes, "Hey, don't look away! Don't look away!"
Stay locked in. Stay right here. You stay with me.
Dude, it's intense. It's taken. I feel like we have a strong bond.
For sure. That's an unbreakable bond. It's eye contact shit.
Toddlers don't give a shit about anything. They just don't care.
I've heard that.
They don't respect nothing. They don't care. They don't care about none of your stuff. I hope he hears me. I'm saying that real loud because
I can see you projecting. You turned your body. You're completely not looking at me anymore. Just yelling.
I want to make sure he knows I'm talking about him.
Oh man.
So, but
go ahead.
I keep telling Michelle about him doing it, and he never does it. I can't believe that I want him to do it to Michelle, but it's gotten to the point now where
do the thing.
You need to experience it.
Do the thing. Tell your mom you're gonna shit. Stare your mom in her face and shit. Come on.
He's so happy after. Like he's so proud of himself because he's like, I just owned you. His first word's gonna be pwned.
I think my baby just owned me. I think is what.
The next time he gets ready, I'm trying to teach him to give me a warning, and the next time, like if he gives me a warning that it's coming, I'm going to drive to the guy who runs the Facebook page for our neighborhood. I'm going to knock on his front door, and I'm just going to stand my son there, and he's going to go, look at me, and shit right on that dude's front porch. And it'll, good.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
That's what you get baby shit.
Don't post anything on Facebook that slightly annoys me, or I'll bring my kid to your house, and he'll stare you in the face while he shits on your front porch. It's the law of the land, man. I don't know.
Them's the rules, bro.
It's America. You either love it or you get the fuck out. I don't want that taken out of context either. Now we both got one. I want that.
Good.
Make sure that stays in context.
We're even. That's the scary thing about podcasts, bro. You start talking and it's out there now. Dude, some comedy clubs are starting to open back up. And it looks weird. I've seen there's clubs in Oklahoma that are open. There's a club in Arizona that's open. Somewhere else too, I've seen somebody else performing. In Wisconsin, there's some clubs out there or a club out there that's open. It's weird. Like the clip that I saw was Brad Williams, and he was performing for I don't know how many people. It looked like 25 people were there, but they were so far away and spread out like nobody.
Yeah,
it's so weird, right? That the way that we're gonna have to come back.
I didn't even think of that part.
The way that we're gonna have to come back to comedy is so like different from how you would set up comedy. Like forever, it's always been the best way to do comedy. You pile everybody up as close as possible, put them fucking right on top of you. Like when I'm performing, I want a dude at my knee. Like I want people right there. Like that's how. But that's not how it's gonna be. Everybody's gonna be spread out. Like you're not gonna be able to rely on just the laughter being contagious and kind of catching on in the group. You're gonna your jokes are gonna be judged because there's gonna be a lot of dead air out there.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
It's out there.
Yeah. Do you have anything? You have anything booked coming up?
No. Somebody asked me. We talked about how much. I talked about not wanting to do virtual shows last episode, but somebody asked me. This is the type of virtual show they asked me to do. Drive to the club, drive to the restaurant that's going to be reopening. There's going to be 5 people there. Record my stand-up on the stage at that place, and then they were going to, that's how they were going to stream it. No. I'm not doing a Zoom show where I drive to the fucking stage and do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that anyway, but I'm definitely not going to,
You could get the exact same reaction at home in your kitchen.
Me sitting right here, right where I'm sitting right now. I could do exactly what it would be there. Why? Yeah. Why is that the extra step of us going there? But yeah, I've turned down every virtual show. I may be done, dude. That's what's so weird is are we done with comedy? Is that what happens now? Is it just?
I mean, people didn't want to come to it. People hardly wanted to come to it before. So now.
A lost art, man. It's weird the way it's gonna have to come back if it, whenever it does. I'm switching
to cage fighting, and I'm just gonna tell jokes. I'm gonna tell jokes in between knockouts. I'm sure I've mentioned it before, but one of the best things I ever saw in UFC was Tank Abbott. Do you remember Tank Abbott?
I know who he is. Yeah.
He was in WCW for a little while too.
That's why.
Turns out he wasn't a good fighter. He was just a big fat redneck idiot who could take a punch or two. And he got lucky
early days,
he wasn't trained or.
The early days of UFC and mixed martial arts was insane. Have you ever seen clips of the first pay-per-view?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. There's a dude fighting. There's a boxer who's got a boxing glove on one hand and just his other hand's just open and taped because they're we're mixing all the martial arts. And so he's well, I'm a fucking boxer. Yeah. Dude, it's insane looking.
I used to love watching Kim Shamrock knock people out, but Tank Abbott was one of the first fights I ever saw. And I remember he was just beating on some dude and he had him, the guy was on the ground-ish, sitting in the corner of the cage, and Tank had his knee in his chest and was just punching him in the face. And the camera was right here. And he stopped punching him and he went. And then went back to punching him. And I was well, I guess I'm a fan of this now.
That's
and then
cool.
He got knocked out like every other fight he ever had.
Yeah, you can't break the fourth wall in a real fight, in a mixed martial arts fight. I saw a clip one time, this dude, I think he was fighting in Japan or some shit. And guys literally got him almost in a choke. Right, and he's kind of holding it off, and then he stops for a second and waves at the camera and goes "Hi, Mom," and then gets choked out, immediately taken out.
Yeah.
Dude, this is not time to not be present. This is not time to not be thinking about what you're doing. Somebody's arm is around your throat.
I mean, that's a certain level of calm that I don't think I've ever experienced.
Oh, dude.
Being choked out and just, hey, Mom. If I'm getting choked out, my last words are, fuck you.
You specifically.
You still a bitch.
You always were. Hey, come close. You. You always were. A big old bitch, Conor McGregor.
Dude,
That's right, you fuck. That's right. Answer me, you coward.
Connor, I know you're hearing this podcast. Conor McGregor does listen to our podcast.
I know he does. I
subscriber.
sent it to him. He's one of our millions of subscribers. He knows what's happening, and he knows he ain't gonna do a goddamn thing about it. I'm getting paid, bro. I'm gonna get paid. I'm gonna hurt, but I'm gonna get paid.
Dude, you'll have enough money to get everything fixed.
No problems with that. I get a whole new set of body. You break my arm, new arm.
Get a robot one.
Oh, I've been looking
the kind
at
of money you would get for fighting Conor McGregor. You could get a robot arm. You could be the Winter Soldier.
I know my future.
People think mine's metal, but it's actually granite.
Ooh. Oh. Yeah, no.